the Patanjali misleading advertisements case that is being heard in the Supreme Court at the moment. The top court has pulled up the center as well as Patanjali over the ads. Now, the Supreme Court has put Baba Ramdev and the government in the dock when the court has in fact questioned why the center chose to keep its eyes shut. The court has said to Baba Ramdev that he should be ready to face the action. He tendered an unconditional apology in the Supreme Court, which the court has rejected. So, the yoga guru there appearing in the Supreme Court over the Patanjali Ayurved's misleading advertisements, where the Supreme Court during the last hearing, remember, severely criticized Patanjali for failing to obey its directives and directed Ramdev's company and the managing director to personally be present, and they have appeared today. Sunil Prabhu joins us from the Supreme Court with the very latest. So, Sunil, it does appear that the court has not just put Patanjali in terms of Baba Ramdev in the dock, but also asked some tough questions on the center as to why they quote unquote chose to keep their eyes shut.
That's right. Not only keep the eyes shut, they have also been issued and they have been made parties, and notices have been issued to the center as well as the state. How did they allow themselves to keep quiet? How did they allow, for example, Baba Ramdev and his company to get away with just a warning when the Act very clearly says that action should be taken, either imprisonment or certain penalties that have to be done as per the Act. These are the points that Justice Seema Kohli as well as other co-judge pointed out to the Solicitor General, saying that we cannot be a silent observer to what has happened. How did you allow this when people were dying? When you allowed this to continue, and as you rightly said, keep your eyes shut. This after, of course, Baba Ramdev as well as Balakrishnan, both present in the court and made a personal appearance after they were directed to. They've been asked to continue to come to the Supreme Court. Their appearance has not been dispensed with. The court didn't want to listen to them directly, even though they were ready to do so, but asked their counsel. They said that with folded hands, we are ready to give an apology, but not after the Supreme Court judges accused them of perjury, which is a very, very serious charge. The affidavits that were filed saying that they are and wanting assistance on the contempt proceedings, making it clear, and this is after a 1-hour grilling by both judges and on a point-to-point issue, saying that whatever they have done in terms of the affidavit were just not in compliance with the Supreme Court order. They pointed out how Patanjali's media department said that they were not aware of the Supreme Court order a day after the entire Supreme Court order had come about. And this, after all, as you're well aware, these proceedings have been carrying on from November. Ultimately, you and I know that people of this country were fooled with Coronaville and the claim by Patanjali. What action did the Health Ministry, or for that matter the Ayush Department, as they said, has a lot to do to answer on this matter. I think the Health Department has come under a lot of flack. The wounds of COVID, which happened where many people lost their lives, many people who had COVID were searching for oxygen cylinders. Those memories once again in the Supreme Court, with the Supreme Court bench raising the entire issue of Patanjali and how it went away scot-free with just a warning and not any action as per the Act that is demanded. So a lot to be said. They will have to now file the affidavits. The matter will be taken up on the 10th when the court will once again look at this entire matter and their issue of perjury as well as non-compliance in terms of the affidavit and how they want to proceed further, because there are other issues involved, because there was a statement also made by the councils of Patanjali as well as Baba Ramdev and Balakrishnan to say that you cannot just say that allopathy is the only cure. So all those matters will be looked at, but today was on contempt, a very, very strong stricture against Baba Ramdev as well as Mr. Balakrishnan, and of course the centre and the state, in particular the Health Department, the Health Secretary, the Ayush Department, for its acts of omission and commission, for closing its eyes and not taking action when at the height of COVID in 2020, they claimed that they were able to find a cure and ridicule what was being done by the Indian Medical Association. The Indian Medical Association saying that we don't want to convict people, but we want to point out that even in their affidavits, they are trying to attribute it to media persons.
All right. Well, Sunil, and what's very scathing also is the fact that even though the Yoga Guru today has extended an unconditional apology in the court has absolutely said we don't accept it. What are likely to be the ramifications going forward?
Well, they've asked them to, file the affidavit, because if you do a half-hearted claim in terms of trying to give a, apology, the Supreme Court judges are too sharp and too smart. It's in that context that they pointed out and, went through those affidavits and ripped it apart, and saying that how you have committed perjury, how you have not been able to actually, don't believe in what you say in terms of an apology. And then you say that you're a common person, so you're ready to come with folded hands and apologize. That's not going to be the way. That's not the procedure. Very, very strict, strictures by the Supreme Court, really saying, giving them time for another week. And on the 10th of April, they will hear this matter once again on this important aspect. So definitely, if you give a half-hearted apology, it is in that context that nobody, especially top Supreme Court judges of the courts, of the highest court of the land, will not be satisfied. And as they point out, whatever order they pass has to be respected.
Yes.
Right from the top to the bottom. And if you don't an attempt to, try to subjugate the court, or you try to hoodwink the court, as they point out, they are not going to accept it at all.